Welcome to Week and Geek, your new comics preview for April 30th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
And I'm the Chris Brown.
So what do you got?
I'm going to start off with a magazine pick this week.
Unusual.
It is unusual, but there's a particular reason. It was kind of interesting when I pulled them out, and I was like, oh, it's a lot more than I would usually order this week. So it must have been either in the description or I just got lucky, but we've got Fangoria issue number 332. It's got an article and an interview with the director of Gin, which was, nice. We had done our little promoting for Gin a few weeks back when it had opened the same weekend as Cap. Mm-hmm. It's got an interview with the director in here. It was shot here locally in Detroit. Mm-hmm. I unfortunately have still not had a chance to see it, but I barely was able to get out and see Captain America. Yeah. I'm hoping to try and see that soon here, though, because I really want to support a local film, and it looks really cool, like a neat horror film. And there's an article in this week's Fangoria, so cool. I thought I had to give a little shout out to Fango on that one. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got next up Seekers of the Weird by Marvel Comics. This is written by Brandon Seifert, who was the writer of Witch Doctor, that book over there that I liked at Image. This is it's based on a once upon a time proposed theme park kind of deal at Disney, but it is a really interesting story of a family and being keepers of these objects, and the these two kids' parents have disappeared and they're trying to get them back, and their uncle's gotten involved and maybe he's on the wrong side, and they're trying to summon all these objects in a mystical living room set so that they can get a key or something and figure out what they need to do. It's a really neat adventure. I like it. It's it's an all ages book, but it's a fun ride, a little creepy, kind of spooky, adventurous vibe. I dig it. Fun book.
Very cool.
Next up, we've got Silver Surfer number 2. This is Dan Slott and Mike Allred. Colors by Laura Allred. This is cool stuff. I really like the vibe that Mike Allred's got on this book. I think it looks kind of neat with the pop art and the cosmic shenanigans at the same time. It just kind of looks cool seeing all those weird creatures drawn in the Mike Allred style. I liked the first issue. I thought it was cool. You should definitely check it out. Should be a fun ride. Cool. Next up, Hulk. This is the Return of the Abomination.
Nice.
We haven't seen the Abomination in a while.
Can't have the Hulk without the Abomination sooner or later.
Exactly. This stuff looks absolutely great. It's fantastic artwork by Mark Bagley. Yeah. It's written by Mark Waid, and bringing back villains and getting Hulk back to being the Hulk. So this is, I liked that first issue. I thought it was cool. And right away, look at that. Abomination punching Hulk. I can't ask for much more than Abomination and Hulk punching each other. That's what you want. Sometimes these books get away from those things, and that should be at the core of it. Mm-hmm.
Hulk smash. There's a reason. That's the catchphrase.
Yes. Next, I've got Star Wars. This is Rebel Heist. This is a mini-series that's going to focus on, it's part 1 of 4. It's going to focus on Han Solo. Solo adventure. Written by Matt Kent.
Oh, cool.
It's got artwork by Marco Castiello, someone I'm not really familiar with, but the artwork looks really cool. And if it's going to sort of be like a heist adventure with Han Solo, that's written by idea. Matt Kent,
yeah.
All right, I like it. I'm in.
That's a clever idea.
Yeah, I like it. These things can hold my attention for so long, and since a 4 issues totally works for me. Next up,
Ocean's 12 Parsecs.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way. And maybe that's why it works that way. Next up, honestly, I'm just humming Cheap Trick in my mind. So that's almost partially why I picked this up. I've got Dream Police issue 1 by Image Comics. This is J. Michael Straczynski. I believe these are the people that monitor dreams, and I don't think it has anything to do with Bunny Carlos or Rick Nielsen or any of those dudes. Although it should.
Yeah.
It should. I hope one of these guys is wearing checkered sneakers and has a double neck guitar or something.
There should be a lot of little references and in jokes. Someone says your mom is all right.
It just seemed a little weird. So I don't know. I don't know if I picked it up because it's Straczynski, if it's about people policing dreams, or if it's because I like Cheap Trick.
Hey, I picked up a Rush book.
True enough.
Didn't get the second.
But this doesn't even have anything to do with Cheap Trick, but maybe it should.
Maybe it should. You can make it have something to do with Cheap Trick if you try hard enough.
I'll just put their records on while I'm listening to it. Like, oh my God, if you play, this album backwards, it sounds like this album backwards. So next we got Umbral number 6, Image Comics. This is Anthony Johnson and Christopher Minton. This book is really weird, and I really like it. There's some weird magic going on, and a couple different groups trying to get the Umbral and Dark, which you don't even really know. It's both an object and a place. It's used differently. It's kind of why I never really understood French. I couldn't conjugate verbs properly. I don't know. The artwork is fantastic, though. I really like it. It's heavy on the purples. That dude looks like some kind of crazy ninja superhero, so I'm getting even deeper and
Mohawk
more into
ninja
this.
Superhero.
Yeah, how do you not love that? I pity the fool who doesn't like that. So, yeah, this is a cool book. I really dig it. I like the color palette. I like the storytelling, even though, again, very strange, but it all the story has to do for me is like live and breathe in the world it creates for itself, and it does.
Cool.
And I like that. I mean, that shows the imagination of the writer, and it does a really cool job. Next, we've got Chew number 41. I love this book. We got more of, I believe, is this Tony in the... Oh, okay, this looks like a little bit of flashback, because Tony was on another planet inside the book of gibberish that his sister had written, but now maybe we get back to...
Or maybe a little of both. It looks like some hallucinations somewhere.
Yeah, this whole book has felt like a hallucination. Yeah. We got Poyo.
Uh-oh.
So that's, whenever Poyo is involved, it's probably not good.
As this book goes on, it's harder and harder to describe it, but it's still really good.
It started out as a detective, for the FDA.
Yeah.
He was working for the FDA. There's a chicken, chicken boycott. You can't eat chicken.
Yeah.
And now it's so much stranger than that. It's like alien fruit that tastes like chicken. Yeah. There's like a cult of the anti-chicken. There's the vampires stealing people's food powers.
As it's gotten into its big story, it's just gotten kind of complicated. Not in a bad way, but in a way that is kind of hard to discuss the plot of any given issue because...
It's psychedelic sci-fi.
As you start saying it, you go... Is that really what's going on here? That sounds kind of strange. But
yes, that is what's going on. Yeah. It's a really well-written story. John Layman just does a great job with this book. And Rob Guillory's artwork is fantastic. This story wouldn't work with any other artist, I don't think.
And, it's interesting. You would question how they were going to make this work as a live action, and obviously that seems to have fallen apart. But apparently they're attempting an animated something of some sort. I know I guess they did a test at least that's some of the stuff that I saw. That actually, I think...
That could work
a lot more because the world, like you were mentioning, creating a world and then sort of being consistent with it and inhabiting it. That book does it better than anybody else.
Oh, agreed. Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to start off here with Vertigo Quarterly Cyan. I'm assuming because it's quarterly and cyan, magenta, yellow, and black are the 4 printing colors that we're going to get more of these. Next up, we'll have a magenta, I'm sure. I know nothing about this beyond it's a Vertigo anthology book.
Right.
And those classically have been pretty good. They never sell well because anthologies are a tough sell, but I love them. I love just a nice short story, especially something like this, which is going to be kind of a mature reader's science fiction, fantasy. These aren't going to tie into anything else that I know. These will be just quick, like the old Dark Horse Presents used to be and stuff like that. But I know we've got some serious creators here. It looks like we've got Jock, Joe Keating. I know we've got Fabio Moon. That's almost enough to sell the book by itself.
I think that's probably why I ordered as many as I did, to be honest. Yeah, I saw the list of creators and I saw him in there.
Yeah, great stuff. And actually, it's like this really nice kind of painted look.
That's
pretty. For his work.
That's really
almost
pretty.
Somewhere between Fabio Moon and a little bit of Jeff Lemire.
Yeah.
And his artwork here. But great stuff. Vertigo.
With the color palette.
Yeah. And the very kind of loose watercolory. Vertigo's always done a great job with their anthology. So even though I don't know much about this, I'm definitely down for this and probably the other 3 as well.
That was in my stack this week as well.
Next up is
I wasn't going to get that over the designer.
True. Right. Well, you had a few more this week, so we had to balance it out. Next up, Batman Eternal. This has been pretty solid. It's the weekly Batman book. It's kind of a slow burn. Gordon has been arrested for a crime he may or may not have committed, and Batman has to figure out what's going on. All the while, a new commissioner that's corrupt has taken over. A new young detective that's strangely reminiscent of young Captain Gordon when he came to Gotham, the Falcone crime family, which Batman had gotten rid of sometime around his year zero, has made a return. So just a good, solid, classic Batman book. And this one looks like we've got Batgirl. In the last issue, we had kind of the beginnings of what are clearly going to be the origin of Spoiler.
Oh, cool.
So they're going to bring in a lot of stuff. They're going to bring in Batman's probably various villains. The Penguin has already shown up. This is going to be a nice, big, year-long Batman epic. That so far, Scott Snyder and James Tynion and John Layman is actually also one of the consulting writers on this.
Cool.
A lot of great people.
Well, they're
going to
flip for story arcs, right? Yep. Isn't that essentially how that works? They all consult and then they flip back and forth on arcs.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a writer's room thing, where one or two guys are going to write the action. Like this one, John Layman wrote the script.
Okay.
The consulting writers all break the story. Then Scott Snyder and James Tynion looks like they're doing the actual story beats, and then John Layman doing the final script. So a nice kind of collaborative effort. This one's got Dustin Nguyen on the artwork. The other ones had James Fabok. So they're going to be going back and forth on art chores too, because nobody can do 52 books in a year except maybe Jack Kirby. He's dead. And I don't think he did a very good Batman either. Anyway, next up, Green Lantern New Guardians Annual number 2. And this is called Curse of the White Lantern. This, apparently, from what I understand, this is going to reveal some hidden secret of Kyle Rayner and his role as the White Lantern and what his true abilities or true purpose is.
Okay.
It looks like there's a bunch of other Lanterns in here, too. This is Justin Jordan, still the writer of the regular book. I've been loving all the Green Lantern stuff.
He's a good writer.
It looks like some cool stuff in here. But Kyle Rayner's always been one of my favorites, and anything that kind of expands his role in the Green Lantern mythology, you can count me in. Next up, Flash Annual 3. This is continuing. This is Robert Venditti and Van Jensen with Ron Frenz and Brett Booth. Kind of interesting. We're getting Ron Frenz, some throwback styles here. This is the introduction of Wally West,
which I'm excited about.
The new 52 Wally West, as well as Flash from the future, who's wearing a blue costume, and looks like some really badass Gorilla Grodd.
He does look pretty badass.
I really enjoyed Venditti and Jensen's first issue that was last week. That led right into this. Something has basically happened at some point in the future. This Wally West is going to die, and the Flash from the future is coming back to try and prevent that. How that all factors in, how that factors into Future's End, and all the other stuff that DC's got coming up. We don't know. It's probably all going to tie in somehow. But just this new creative team, we did such a great job revamping Green Lantern, plus Wally West. That's all I need. Next up, all new X-Men number 26. To be honest, I haven't read issue 25 yet. This looks like we've got some great artwork by Stuart Immonen. And this is just the continuing adventures of the X-Men from the past as they acclimate themselves to the present, along with the current Cyclops and his somewhat other side of the law mutants. It looks like we've also got X-23 in here too, and looks like Beast is trying to figure something out because he's the smart guy.
That's what he does.
But so I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I'm a couple issues behind myself on all the X-Men,
and I got caught up on a bunch of stuff. But there's a few things that I have fallen way behind on. X-Men, which I'm normally caught up on, I fell behind on. The other one is the Avengers. So New Avengers number 17. Again, I'm an issue behind on this one. Last time I checked in on this, there was some sort of alternate dimension superhero team, and that looks like what they're still dealing with here.
Right.
Some kind of a Justice League alternate knockoff with a Superman type and stuff like that. And I believe, from what I remember, they're peering in on other universes to see how they deal with that kind of problem with the Earths colliding.
Is this their temporarily misbehaving storyline?
Yeah,
not quite forever.
Right.
Not quite evil. Temporarily mischievous, maybe.
Oh, and now it looks like we've got some stuff where they meet up with that team. But anyway, yeah, I'm a little behind on that one. Just as I'm behind on Avengers World, I think I'm 2 issues deep on this one.
Every title's an Avengers book at this point.
And it doesn't help when they put all 3 of them out in the same week. And also, like, that Avengers AI came out this week,
right.
The final issue of that. I was like, you got 4 Avengers books, how about 1 a week? And then we've got Avengers number 28. Last time I remember this one, it was another Avengers from an alternate dimension. Jonathan Hickman likes alternate dimensions. We've got the alternate dimension Einstein and Manhattan Projects. We got alternate Avengers. We got alternate Justice League. Maybe we should just play in one universe for a little while. But in any event, it's still good stuff.
But he's got a big map.
He's got a big map, and he's using all of it. But yeah, so I'm a little behind on this, but this was, last time I checked, the Avengers dealing with some somewhat evil Avengers from an alternate universe. All of these are tying into these. I mean, the reason he's doing all this alternate universe stuff in the Avengers is because it's all tying in with these universes colliding with our own, or alternate Earths colliding with our own, and the Avengers trying to find a way to stop it. And I'm sure it's all going to fit together somewhere down the road.
And not only
like S.H.I.E.L.D. did.
Yeah, right. And not only those Avengers titles this week, Uncanny Avengers Annual was out as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And that's also an alternate future story.
Is it?
At least the regular book. I don't get it anymore, but it's an alternate
All you read is Avengers, you're going to be really confused this week. What the hell's going on? I don't know.
4 different books, all taking place on a different world, all with an Avengers title.
Well, I believe that brings me to my top pick of the week here. This is Southern Bastards, issue number 1 by Image Comics. This is a Jason Aaron book. I'm all in. That Amazing X-Men book that he was doing was really, really fun. Everything I've read by that guy just seems to be good storytelling. I really like his writing. Everyone tells me the thing that I'm missing is I should have read Scalped.
Yeah.
That was the one. Scalped was the one I should have read. And I don't know exactly what this is about, but it looks like it's got more of that dirty, gritty, kind of Southern fried kind of feeling. And, I want to see what he does with that. If this is what he does best, and I've enjoyed what he's done with superheroes, then I'm excited to see what he's going to do here. It's an Image book. He'll have a bit of freedom, kind of like he did over there with Vertigo. So, yeah, I'm excited. Cool. Southern Bastards, I think this is going to be a big one.
Very cool. My top pick is kind of an obvious one. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 1. The return of Peter Parker, the return of Amazing Spider-Man. It's Humberto Ramos and Dan Slott. I did get caught up. I did finish all the Superior Spider-Man stuff, and overall it was pretty solid. I really enjoyed it. Right. The way that Peter came back was actually kind of clever. There was a little, not a big twist, but something that was kind of a neat way to do it that made sense. And we got Peter back, and Peter not really knowing what's happened in his absence to a great degree. When he last was in this body, his life was not great, but it was not great in the way that Peter Parker's life is normally not great, and now it's actually much, much worse than it was before, which is so Peter Parker. Doc Ock comes in, makes his life much better, ruins it, and leaves. Right. So yeah, we get Peter dealing with the fallout, I'm sure, of that. Looks like we've got a lot of other people in on this. Looks like some backup stories, too. But overall, it was really good stuff. Really, and he left some plot threads, some stuff with Norman Osborn and Liz Allen and how things are going to play out. So yeah, I have no idea what the long-term plans are now that Peter's back. Obviously, he's back because the movie's coming out in a couple of days. Right.
Yeah, they got to take care of that.
Right. They can't have Amazing Spider-Man on the screen and Superior Spider-Man on the ground in the comic shops. Looks like we've got some Electro in here, too, because he's going to be in the movie also.
Imagine that.
Peter's back. That's pretty much all you need.
And they've also attached Inhuman number 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That. So that's among the backup stuff that sold out Inhuman number 1. If you missed that, if you need to pick that up, well, that's in your Amazing number 1. That's a pretty nice combo.
Yeah, very much so. And there's some previews of this Amazing Spider-Man 1.1, his a year 1, Spider-Man year 1 storyline that's coming up. But yeah, good stuff. Welcome back, Peter. We missed you. Even though you weren't really gone, you're still in almost every issue of Superior Spider-Man in one form or another.
I guess. Good to have the book back and Peter proper, and we'll just pretend that Peter
and even the old logo.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, his costume's back.
Costume's back. Logo's back. Peter's back.
Well,
of course, now he has a little person girlfriend that he doesn't know, but that's something strange to wake up to.
Like, whoa, hey. How's it going? What did I do last night?
And everybody hates him again. That's it. And I think he's not an Avenger anymore. I wasn't sure about that.
Okay.
But, yeah, good stuff. Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, and with that, Oh, should we mention one other thing? Actually, we're not done yet. We've got this week. Saturday. Friday, you got the Amazing Spider-Man opens at the theater, and Saturday you got Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
So be sure to check your local brick and mortar store for that. There will be Comic Book Day specific items, floating about. We'll have some sales in and around the store on everything from trade paperbacks to toys and action figures and that sort of thing. So be sure. We'll also have Bruce Gerlach and Bill Pukowski here doing sketches and hanging out and doing that kind of fun stuff. So come grab your. I think there's like 60, 70 titles for Free Comic Book Day. There's a lot of books.
It just gets bigger every year.
It does. It really does. So a lot of books. Come check them out. Anything you were looking forward to?
I'm actually looking forward to the Future's End.
Oh, okay.
The
is
DC,
there? Yeah, there is a little
Future
preview
End
for that.
Zero, I think, is coming out. And actually, beyond that, I'm not really sure. This year, I'm just kind of going in blind.
There's a Rocky Raccoon book. There's Archaea's got a nice mouse guard hardcover.
They do a nice job with those.
So yeah. So we'll have plenty of those. So be sure to check them out at Comics and More or your local brick and mortar store if you're not local. And that is your Week in Geek.